That was KC and JoJo, All My Life. Never before have black people, the black electorate, been more powerful and less aware of their power. I can tell you exactly how I know that, because for the first time since I've been in radio, you have political candidates spending money on black media, which never happens. Traditionally, we are taken for granted. We're caught up in the well stream. Never before have black people, the black electorate, been more powerful and less aware of their power. What you have right now is 2 billionaires, 5 billionaires basically, 5 rich white people fighting over black people. Now let's be clear. You need, if you want to be president of the United States of America, you need the black electorate. You need to show up in great numbers or not to show up at all. Donald Trump didn't win because Russia cheated. That helped. Donald Trump didn't win because Hillary didn't go to some states. That helped. What helped him the most was black people not showing up. Had black people shown up, no matter how much you cheat, no matter how many things you do, no matter how many Russian operatives, no matter how many meetings, you would not be president. You cannot be president without the black electorate. It is true. Now, traditionally, we've been taken for granted. You can say what you want. Alabama doesn't go. Doug Jones doesn't become the senator in Alabama without the black vote. Now, black women traditionally vote at 96%, the highest percentage of any demographic in the country. The reason that he won in Alabama because 94% of black men voted. If black people come out and vote, you must, and they've never been more powerful and less aware of their power. Case in point, you have 2 billionaires who are fighting over that. I'm telling you, they're spending media where they traditionally do not. They count on it showing up or not showing up. If our vote was not important, they would not be spending money right now, and they would not be trying to pass laws to mitigate it. Anybody right now who tells you your vote doesn't count, right now, with the current administration, there are the prosecution of white-collar criminals is basically zero. They're not prosecuting anybody that does the things they do. You know what else they do? They've removed the moratorium on police departments and basically made it open season on black people. So the very time you tell me your vote don't count and you see somebody getting choked or in the police department not being responsible for it, you staying home has abetted that. Now let's be clear. We have never been more powerful and less aware of our power. And there are things that we should ask for and know to ask for. One is our children should be educated. A real quality education. Our women should stop dying during childbirth. They should stop dying in medical facilities. We should have quality medical care. You should not. There are things that we are struck with that we should not be dying of. We shouldn't have our children beaten down and murdered with no one brought to account. These are simple things we ask for. And one of the major things that black people need to ask for is reparations. Now, I'm not talking about reparations of slavery because they can claim that was a long time ago. Reparations from the war on drugs. The families that were decimated, the families that were torn apart, the pariah that they created when they sent our men away has had long-reaching effects. The very people that Bloomberg was talking about, they're not responsible. They have a hand in that. Now, here's the thing. We need to be some level of reparations to the very drugs that sent those men away. Right now, men are in drugs right now, and the very thing they used to sell, which is marijuana, they are profiting from. Those men should be getting let out of jail, and they should be given a chance for reparations in the marijuana field. They should have a chance to work for those companies, to own those companies, to become consultants of them, because they took from them. They took from them. That war on drugs decimated the black household. It is the reason now people sneer at us and call us pariahs. So they have an obligation to make it right. Most of the homeless people in the United States of America are homeless precisely. They either served, or they're minorities who lost their jobs, or they're poor people, or they're people who are mentally ill. That needs to be a concern for black people. Never before have we been more powerful and less aware of our power. In the 60s, it was different because our goals were the same, and I think right now they line up with each other. Who doesn't want their children to be protected and have people accountable for what they do to them? Who doesn't want their women to be able to have children and not die in childbirth? Who doesn't want the fact that we are safe? Who doesn't want people reparated for being put away in an unfair situation? Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to see homeless people have somewhere to be? It is in your purview right now. You have rich billionaires fighting for you. Rich billionaires. Now, you cannot be president of the United States of America unless black people either come or don't. And do not let anybody tell you your vote is not important. If it were not, they wouldn't do all these sleight of hands to make sure you're not able to do it. If they want something from you, you need something from them. And our something is a consolidated situation. It makes all of us better. Imagine if we had less homeless people. Imagine if our children, if our women didn't pass away in childbirth. Imagine if we had quality health care and education. Imagine if all those men and women who were taken away from us because of the war on drugs got to come back and be introduced into society in the field that they're experts in. That policy took our children, our men and our women away from us, and it has an obligation to put them back. Reparations is really simple when it comes to that. They should have the ability to own those marijuana houses and those growers, and you should have certain ability to make sure that every part of that business is reparated to black people. The people you put away and warehouse and destroy. You can't tell me that's so far away. That's not slavery. That's now. You have an obligation now. The same compassion that you now treat meth heads with, you can treat people who sold marijuana. And you have an obligation and the ability to do it. It's billionaires. People are making billions off the very thing that caused us so much misery. And they have an obligation to give some of it back. And black people have never been in a better position than to ask or to demand those very things I just lined out. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.